Hey everyone, it's Astronaut98 here. Today we are doing a replica of the For All Mankind Sojourner Titan mission with the lathe standing in as the analog. There will be a few discrepancies, but this vehicle is pretty awesome. I hope you stick around for the end where I tell you about my next mission. If you remember from the previous video last week, I launched the Sojourner-1 all the way to Duna. Here I am attaching the extra fuel tanks. These did get swapped out later for liquid fuel tanks, because it turns out the xenon fuel tanks are not as necessary for this mission as I thought. Liquid fuel and oxidizer are a bit more important, turns out. But yeah, I actually did build these improvements on the surface of Duna, which took a bit longer than I care to admit. And I also kind of got a little distracted by your all's suggestion of doing the Ranger 2 mission next video, which is going to be awesome. Did a lot of research and testing, a lot more this week than I should have. A lot less sleep than I should have gotten too, but hey, that's life. So here we are attaching the underbelly either atmospheric probes or fuel regeneration equipment. It was nice to see in the show that they did add equipment to allow them to generate more fuel once they got to Titan, considering most of the surface is made out of salt water. Generating hydrogen is going to be as easy as pie, and Vasimir tends to run on hydrogen, which is pretty darn cool. To be honest, in that scene where they had LOS, I actually thought the show might kill him off, to be honest. And I'm really kind of bummed we didn't get to see the Roscosmos spacecraft. But hey, it's a good show. I enjoyed it. And here we go. Here's the start of our mission. I did fly this thing entirely by hand. Did run a few simulations for atmospheric entry, a couple other things. Landing, I did a few simulations to figure out what the throttle for the back engine needed to be. Boy, was that a trick. But yeah, here we go. For most of my burns, I did the nuclear engines along with the ion engines to give me as much efficiency as possible. Basically allows me to have a fuel efficiency of 905. But if you're enjoying, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more great content. So here we are on our almost 2 year and a half long cruise to the planet Jool. I've gotten a lot of mileage going back and forth between Jool for a few missions recently. Fun little planetary system, believe it or not. And this is my first ever lathe mission, so if you want to see me do more fun missions, do subscribe and hang around. But yeah, I had to do multiple gravity assists to get myself slow enough that I didn't actually burn up in Lay's atmosphere every time. I mean, I could have just adjusted the heating rate, but I didn't want to. And here's one of my failed attempts. As you'll see, this one just absolutely explodes. 3, 2, 1, kaboom. Yeah. I eventually grabbed some of the radiators from up near the front and put them over the main engines in the back to try and keep those engines as cool as possible. Because, ironically, the engines and the nose cone were heating up too much, which makes no sense, but hey, I'm playing completely stock, so I gotta work with the systems that I got. I am thinking about getting Scatterer and maybe Blackrak's Clouds mod. Those would probably be the only mods I would get, but here's one of my simulations where I was trying to get my landing zone dialed in, and also the thrust of the engines dialed in as well. That was an interesting one. Ironically, for landing on Lathe, you want to move all the fuel to the furthest back fuel tank, which made no sense to me, but hey, it's spaceflight. You gotta balance your vehicle somehow. And unlike in the show, I did include parachutes to slow myself down a little bit, but basically these things just kind of act like drogue chutes just to keep me stable. Because the RCS on this thing is not all that powerful. And ironically, the best way to slow yourself down is to just kind of let this thing wobble till you're about 2 clicks above the ground. And then chutes will pop themselves, deploy the gear, fire up the engines, and slow yourself to less than 10 meters per second. Here's a watery splashdown here. A fun little experiment where I tried to boat myself to the shore. Didn't work. And here is the final and best approach that I did. This one was quite tricky because I told myself if I crashed this one, I was not getting another chance and I'd have to do this mission again. Luckily for me, I nailed it after 14 previous simulation attempts. But yeah, this vehicle's great. It has a crew of 4. It has mining equipment so you can refuel it on the surface. I tried to land near the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Easter egg, but I couldn't seem to find it. I think I'm close, but I'm not certain. It's really hard to tell. The wiki said 164 degrees west, and I sometimes get my east and west a little confused on the maps. I always forget that it's we, not you, on the compass, but hey, that's life. Yeah, so this thing is quite the turkey to fly. Actually took me 5 tries to figure out how to fly this thing when landing on land. And you'll see here I did a pretty interesting engine swap out maneuver where I used my main engines and the landing engines to slow myself down for a nice gentle touchdown. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe, stay sane, most importantly, have fun.